Hi.
Hey girl.
Um, like I was saying, you look great.
Thank you.
With your makeup, I didn't put a lick on today. I was going to, and then I was like, well, maybe I'll work out. And then I didn't end up working out yet. Anyway, so I'm showing up very authentic today.
It's perfect. I was telling you before we hit record, I'm working the volleyball game later. So everyone will be like looking at me because I mean, not like looking right at me, but I'll
Yeah,
be,
they might. They'll be like, look at that. Who is that?
I'll be down there like by the court. And so anyway, I was like, I'll wear some makeup. And kind of I was in the mood to be a little bit cute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I
You
get
know
it.
how you have those moods?
Yes, totally. I
Yeah.
totally, I totally do. I feel that way quite a bit.
Yeah. I've been in my like cute mom mode today is how I'm feeling.
My cute mom era.
Yeah.
I feel like
And
this
did
is
you
just like
see
hi.
my ep-
Yeah, I saw that earlier this morning on your stories. I was cracking up.
for those listening and not watching, it says cheer up, fucker. Um, yeah, Jag and I had, I mean, it was fine, but this morning was a little rough. So I broke out the cheer up fucker mug.
I like that. If it makes you laugh, mine's my
Yeah,
normal God has big plans because it's the biggest cup I have. And I like
I
a big
love it.
when I make tea.
Yeah, is it your dandelion tea?
Yeah, dandelion and lemon every day.
I
I make
love the
it all day,
dandelion.
every day, once a day.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
drinking hibiscus today.
ooh, I do like that. I put that in with my with like my raspberry or my elderberry. My elderberry is like bitter, like the immune boosting teas.
Yeah.
I feel like are a little bitter, so the hibiscus is adds a little flavor. I think this is gonna be a big episode today. There's
Oh my
lots to talk
Lord.
about. Although
Yeah.
I really don't feel like I should have totally went back and like scrolled through Love is Blind again because I don't know. The one
I
episode I'm
made
like, oh
notes.
gosh, there's some exciting things going on here, and then the next episode I was like, is this over yet? Are we done with this episode? Because
Oh no.
first of all, they were in the pods a whole episode longer this season, and that's annoying to me because I'm like ready to be done. Like we're in the pods long enough. Get us out into the real world. Show us the excitement. I don't
Yeah.
understand why they were in the pods a full episode longer.
I like when they get into the real world also. And but I will tell you, I don't really know why they were in the pods longer either, except maybe because I feel like this season, and maybe it's just I'm forgetting something from seasons past, but there was more like I don't know if drama is the right word, but more
Mhm.
like people having a hard time deciding between people.
Yeah.
So I think they
Mhm.
probably had more to show in that way. But I made notes because I had like some shit to say this time.
Okay, let's are we gonna start with Love is Blind? Let's start with
Sure,
that. Let's do that
sure.
first and save The Bachelor the best, in my opinion, the best for last. Although now that The Bachelor's over, I'm just like done with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I could talk maybe 5 minutes on The Bachelor and move on. Like,
Oh, I have things to say about The Bachelor.
okay, well then you could carry us.
Because,
You could totally carry us this episode. All right, the
girl,
Amanda wave. I'll just
evidently I have a lot of opinions today.
I think I'm just like done with it. Like that's how I am with books. If I read a good book and I'm like super into it and it's over, then I'm just like, oh, okay, we're done with it now.
Oh, see, that's awesome because I'm kind of the opposite. Like I want it to keep going and I get like I'm like, oh, I don't want it to be over. Like I want to keep reading
Yeah.
it because I loved it.
There's only like one book that I think about quite a bit that I'm like, it really like tore me up. Um, it's so like the last one I read probably. But do you ever read Nicholas Sparks? Are you like a romance?
I mean, I have read it, but I read his books, but I usually read like rom-com, like Emily
Okay.
Henry and Jessica Weiner. Is
Okay. I
it
should
Weiner or Weiner?
out. Maybe it's Wiener. I don't know. I should check those out. The last one I read was called The Wish, and if you have time, you should just read it. Like it's kind of predictable a little bit, but it like the whole story just like oh, tore me up. Anyways, okay, let's get into Love is Blind. I'm like just rambling about
It's
whatever.
okay. Okay. So the very first thing I have written down, and we don't have to start here. It's not even like a huge conversation, I don't think. But I just felt like, and I texted you about this, Meg, I was so like just happy for her. And so I loved seeing that because Mason was so in between like her and Madison and his attitude. And I just loved that when they talked, she was like, I will always wonder if I was your second choice. So I'm not doing this.
Right, which she clearly was. Like to go back and watch the replay, she'd be like, "Yeah, oh, yeah, you're like you don't know your number ones and your number twos at all, buddy." Um,
Right.
yeah,
And
I was really impressed by her too because she wasn't mean, but she was just like,
yeah.
"Yeah, I have like high expectations for the person I'm with, like to want me." So, and she could have just been like fine with it because that's so normal in these episodes or like in the pods. I feel like people are always kind of back and forthing a little bit and they don't really know because they're torn.
Mhm.
And then like sometimes they end up with their number two and then they end up getting married. Like,
Yeah. And I honestly think it's okay for people to go through a process and be unsure. I mean, I'm an emotional being in human design, that's my authority. So I completely understand needing to like go back and forth and re enter situations to like get to where you're settled.
yeah,
So, like, I wouldn't be upset about someone doing that at all. I would actually, if that's what they needed to do, I would want them to do it. But
yeah,
I think for me, the big thing was she, like, he wasn't even just going back and forth, and then like settled on her himself. It was like, no, he was settled on Madison.
mm-hmm.
And we could all see he was settled on Madison and that's who he wanted. And then because she didn't want him, he was like, okay, then I'll take Meg.
Yeah, basically. I would say, yeah, that is his feelings. Like, I think he really liked Meg. Like, don't get me wrong. I think he really
Mhm.
liked, and I thought the same thing. Like, I understand, you know, it would be tough in his situation to have a clue on what to do, and it would be confusing and it would be hard and whatever. But yeah, I thought she handled it well. I actually thought Mason handled it well given the situation he's in. Like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought Madison was just really immature, to be honest with you. And she was like all upset about what he said. And she's like, I just feel very unvalid right now and blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. And I'm like, whatever. Like, whatever. I mean, fine. You feel that way. I'm glad you know how to express your emotions. But like, if you were not going to be with Mason, what does it matter if he changed his mind and he said he took it back? Like, who
Right.
cares?
Right. Like, who gives a fuck, really? Because
Yeah, you
you,
picked
if
Alex.
you,
Like,
yeah, if you don't care, move on, be with Alex and just say, okay, buddy, bye.
yeah,
Like
basically,
sometimes,
yeah. Who
I
cares
don't
if
know.
he changes his mind? And like, or I don't even want to say he changes his mind. Who cares if he takes it back out of the circumstance that he was given? Like,
Right.
I just, yeah, I don't think she handled that well, being that she was like, not that into him from the interpretation I got.
Well,
Like,
she said she wasn't, and she said she wanted Alex. But again, I wasn't. I mean, in the very like first episode, I was a fan of her, and then it just started going downhill for me.
yeah, yeah, I was really surprised her and Alex ended up breaking up in this episode.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I
I
was really
know.
surprised. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting them to at least like, I don't know, continue on and he wasn't even like open to dating. That was interesting. Like, I think I would be open to dating. Like, I don't think we're ready for engagement and
Yeah.
marriage, but like I would be open to continuing this.
Well, yeah, yeah. Like, but I could kind of see, you know, they've been, in my opinion, and I mean, I think you thought this too. They were kind of a little rocky the whole time.
Yeah, they've had weird moments of like
Yeah.
rocking.
And I really didn't think they were a great fit for each other. Like, even
Mhm.
just going back to, like, I don't know, episode 2 or 3, where she would like try to bring sex up and he wouldn't want to talk about it at all.
Yeah,
And just things like that, I'm like, okay, like this just isn't a good match.
right. Well, and I think like sometimes in situations like I think it's okay to like be sexual, but I don't know that you need to lead with it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
with the person that you're going to marry because that's like such a minute part of
Yeah.
a relationship. Yeah, it's there and it's like a big deal, but like
Oh, wait. You think it's a minute part?
I mean, okay, I'm raising 3 small children right now. So like
Mhm.
in my world right now in this season of life, yeah, I would say it's not like I don't want to say it's not a priority, but it's like we're raising 3 small kids. You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
we're doing a lot right now, like
Yeah.
raising our family versus like not that yeah, that's where I'm at.
No, I get that. I just think, I mean, she even, I think, just wanted to know like his thoughts on sex or sex in a relationship, and he wouldn't even like discuss it at all. Like, I don't even like, I don't think she was being super sexual with him like she was with Mason. I just think she
Yes.
wanted to discuss the topic because I would want that. I would want to know that too. Like, because for me, I do connect through sex. Like, I'm very, it's probably partly my Taurus, it's probably partly my Virgo, but like, that's it can be a really spiritual and connecting experience for me. So it would be important to me that I could be with someone who's comfortable being sexual, talking about sex. Like,
Yeah,
not
I feel like hers is more flirty. Like I want
with
to eat
him, with him too.
yeah, I want to eat your pickles or whatever. Like it
Oh,
wasn't like a real conversation about like, hey, let's like talk about like
yeah, yeah,
sex
that
and like
was,
what you prefer and whatever.
yeah.
Did I miss that? I don't feel like they really like
It was the date before the pickle date
yeah.
that
I
she
guess like
brought it up more like, I can't remember her exact question, but it was more because I think they were talking about, if I remember correctly, like she went to maybe like a strict, I wanted to say she went to like Catholic school, but that could be wrong. But she was in like a stricter like framework.
oh, I think you're right. Yeah, because
And
she
so
said that she didn't have sex until she was like 22 or something,
yeah,
maybe.
so they just she brought it up like
hmm
in a more serious way, and he didn't want to discuss it.
Which
But
I mean, on camera, I don't like necessarily blame him for not
yeah,
like going deep, but like this is the only time you have to talk about it before you decide to get engaged to this person. So it's
right.
kind of a weird situation.
But speaking of, I think that's a good segue for something else that I wrote down.
Oh yeah, let's talk about something else.
Because I just want to know, and it is kind of connected. I'm gonna like read this little quote. So I wrote the quote down that Lauren said when she was talking to just like production or whatever. She said, the worst thing that could happen is him not feeling that immediate connection that I want us to feel, like when they see each other.
Uh-huh.
And I'm really wondering, it made me think about this thing with me. Like, I have for a few years now been like evaluating this spark, like the spark you feel with someone, or like if you need a spark or you don't need a spark, or like, um, does the spark mean anything? You know, like when you first meet someone, or like when that you can feel the chemistry or not.
Yeah.
And I'm curious your thoughts about it because, like, I've always played well, and in years and years past, I've always been like, I have to have the spark, I have to have the chemistry. And then I
Mhm.
decided I was going to play
Go
with,
turn that back on right now.
then I decided I was going to play with, can that like develop in a relationship? Like, do I have to have it immediately or can it develop? And, or is it like unhealthy when I feel it? Is it
This
like
is
an,
like a whole other podcast episode that we should talk about on another day because we could go on and on about this, I think.
right? But I want just, if you could give me your, I don't know, just a few minutes of like your thoughts on that and how that works and if it's necessary or not or what it means.
I think you should be attracted to the person you're with, um, whether that's an initial spark or a later spark. But I think understanding and the whole concept of love is blind is finding love without seeing somebody. So
Right.
I don't know. I've never been in that situation where I fell in love without seeing someone. But I think in general, over time, the spark, in my opinion, the spark is not what it was when you first start dating. Like everything new is like, in my mind, is exciting. Like when you get a new car, it's like so exciting. You can't wait to go drive it. You are like super excited. But like the 50,000th time you get in your car, you're not like, oh, it's my new car. You know? That's my version of it.
Right. Okay. But do you think when it's chemical, like it's pheromones, it's chemical, there's a chemical reaction in your body to somebody? That's like why we call it chemistry.
Yeah, but that person treated me like crap. So
Right. That's why it can be a mind fuck. And that's why I went down this whole experiment that I ran.
mhm.
Like, well, is it that I'm only feeling this way to people about people that treat me bad? Or is it I can feel this way about someone that treats me well? Or I don't know. Like I'm still running the experiment.
I'm gonna
Um,
I'm gonna run it too and see what gives me a spark 9 years later. What happens in our relationship when yeah. Because I
yeah.
mean, technically we've been together. This has been our 14th year like dating. Like we've been together for 14 years. And then we've been married for 9. So I mean, I don't know, just life. It's it's life. Like I think you can be super intentional and like, if you have a partner who's super into communicating and super on the same page as you as far as like, I don't know. Because I don't want to
Mhm.
say super on the same page because I feel like Ben and Sarah might be like on different pages in areas. And I think she thinks that's a bad thing. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but like, I think I don't know how to say it. I don't know. It's life. Life happens. That's the only way I know how to summarize that. Life literally happens. Like you have 3 babies. Not saying you can't be intentional and still spark that spark, but it's not an everyday, all day, brand new, in love spark.
Right. Yeah. I'm just thinking about a particular, well, a couple of particular relationships I've had where I still, like, I always felt that, and they were long term, and I felt that chemistry.
Yeah.
Like, most of the time, like, I felt that chemistry.
Mhm. I have visitors. Listen, you need to go out, please. Because I told you I had this real quick. Please, please. Too bad we can't edit this out of the video.
We can, that's why I'm not talking.
Yeah, we could. Um,
Um,
so yeah, I understand what you're saying. I definitely think maybe we should do an episode just about this spark theory.
let's do it because I have lots of little rabbit holes to go down
Yeah,
about it
I
that
think
we
it'd be super fun.
you know, Yeah, let's do that. Everyone, look forward to it. We're gonna do it
We are
because
gonna do it.
I need to have a conversation about this with a projector.
Okay, so back to the show. So I feel like I could
I
sit
mean,
here and
that was
talk to you
about the
for
show.
hours. I could talk to you for hours about a spark. Like I think it'd be interesting to tease that out. It'd be
Yeah, yeah.
juicy to tease that out.
So juicy.
I think yes. So
Well, do you also think, because Dave said, and that made me wonder, he said that he has never felt that much closeness before with somebody as
I'm
he's felt
over him.
with
I
Lauren.
don't know. I don't get great vibes. Like Dave doesn't. I don't. I'm not feeling Dave too much.
Right. But I'm wondering what I'm wondering is if that closeness he's feeling is going to make him like freak the fuck out if he's never felt that before, or if he's going to like love it. I'm just curious
I
about.
feel like they're just awkward. I mean, yes. So I guess we'll see what happens. But I feel like they're just awkward together. Like I'm not getting the like Monica and Joey vibes. Like I feel like
Oh,
Monica and Joey are just like having a good time, like in sync, having fun. And Lauren and Dave are like laying in bed together, and she's like, "I'm really hot," and he's like, "I feel like all women are hot." And then she's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Well, wait." Like
maybe
he
I'm
wasn't really
wrong.
listening to her, and then he's like, "No, maybe not. Girls are usually cold." Like that whole, it's just like, I feel like every time they're on screen, I'm like, you guys don't know what to say to each other. You guys really aren't vibing. Like,
That was awkward. That was
whatever. The
awkward.
dunk tank was weird.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I understand what you mean, but I kind of think maybe that's their personalities. Like, some people are just awkward.
Yeah, but two awkward people are not gonna, I don't know, flow in my mind. Like they just don't flow for me. But
Yeah.
I forgot Dave said that. So maybe that's it. I don't know. I always think sometimes people get caught up in the pods. And
Uh,
then like, you're in like this intense little incubator and you're, growing this thing and then yeah, I think it just gets confusing. I understand. Hold on. I understand. Yeah, I understand. Lydia. Um, I
um,
I don't know. Did you have any other notes? I just thought of something.
well, I was thinking of Joey with his OCD.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting that he like overcame it.
So I absolutely loved, loved that he shared that because I just feel like my framework, like no one has to agree with it. But my framework is that when our bodies are always just responding to like inputs that we give it, whether
Yeah.
it's food, whether it's our environment, whether it's the people we're around, our thoughts, whatever. And I think that we do have the power to like shift how our body is responding ourselves on purpose, consciously. And he was like, yeah, I just started saying I don't want to. He was like, I don't want to take the medicine. I want to try to do it myself first. And I just started doing it. I just started doing what I said I wanted to do.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, this mind over matter concept, which I think it's a reality. You're not listening, you will sit in timeout when I'm done.
And I do think that, like, I mean, I've shifted a lot of things in my life that way that people are like, no, like, you couldn't change that, right? Like, anxiety, that's how I really deal with anxiety. And I've had like debilitating anxiety. I've had panic
Mhm.
attacks, all that. I dealt with it in that way, the way I deal with my POTS and neurocardiogenic syncope and Ehlers-Danlos, and just the way I engage with everything is like that. But it's rare to hear other people say that they just do life like that. That's how I got through like having anorexia, like all this stuff. I just was like, okay, I can choose differently. I can shift this. And I just did it.
Yeah.
But you don't hear that very often. So anyway, I just loved that he could be that light and that example to people, that it's not like something happening to you that you have no say in, and it's not just like your body going rogue or something. It's all, and he also said like this was how I dealt with all the chaos with his sister and all that. Like that's why the OCD emerged. So he understood that it was this like cause and effect relationship. It wasn't just something wrong with
Mm-hmm.
him. Anyway.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. The whole thing I thought was really good to bring attention to things like that. And
And
then
that she understood him.
I thought it was funny when they did like the teaser at the beginning, they made it seem like it was going to be like this huge deal. And then
Yeah.
it wasn't. Like this was something he was still struggling with and he isn't. I mean, I guess he's still probably working through it because I'm sure there are times where it comes back up, but
Oh, yeah, things always come back up. I mean, I had anxiety so bad on Sunday that I had to change my clothes 3 times before I could go to my parents' house, because I was like, everything I put on gave me worse anxiety. And I just had to be like, okay, what do I need? What do I need right now? Okay, I need tighter clothes. I need something hugging my body. I need, and and it was fun. I got through it, but it's like, it, that's the misnomer. People think it just like goes away and you never deal with anything again.
yeah. No, I'm sure he still is working through it. I just think when they teased it, it was like something he was actively like, I don't know, whatever, in therapy for or
Oh
something.
yeah,
It seemed like a current like big thing.
and I also thought they teased it as if she was going to have a problem with it, and she was like, "Wow!" Like she was so encouraging and understanding.
Yeah, I really like them together. I wasn't sure how I would feel, but I really liked them together. What did you think about, oh crap, Taylor and Daniel?
I like them.
I like them a lot. I was like really kind of panicking the whole time. Wasn't this the phone one? I'm trying to remember. Yes,
Yeah,
they
this
were
was
trying to
when
decide to
yeah,
go to
she thought
Honduras.
he had seen her on Instagram.
Yeah. And like the whole time I'm like, oh dude, you're gonna fall flat on your face. And then he didn't. And I was like, good job.
Right. And but also, were
Because
you
I couldn't decide if he was lying or not.
oh, but
I was
were
like,
you thinking like this? These were my thoughts, and I just want to know how you were feeling about it. I can understand her. Like, I understand how you can be like, I just got engaged to someone that I don't really know, and then you go on a spiral. But
mm-hmm.
logically thinking about it, I couldn't understand why it even really mattered, even if he had followed her, because it wasn't like he would have known she was going on the show. And there
Yeah.
could be a million people named Taylor that are nurses that like Christmas. Like, it's not like he would have known it was her for sure. And even if he did, like, I
Yeah,
don't know. I just
that's true. I think your mind is like your worst enemy a lot of the times, and I think you can get yourself into a spot where it's like, oh no. And I
yeah.
think like I could see where she was nervous because like if he knew what she looked like obviously he has like I don't know a leg up or however you want to say it like
Well,
so then the whole
Jagger,
time if he knows what she looks like I don't know he
well, Jagger was in here.
he's
He
like
just
maybe
happened.
I don't know.
Jag just happened to be in here when that part came on. And I like paused it for a second and I was like, okay, you tell me your thoughts. And he was like, he made a really great point because he was like, well, even if he did know it was her, like, first of all, he probably did. Even if he saw her, he probably didn't put it all together that this is her. But even if he did, Jagger was like, that's like such a compliment that he knew what she looked like and still wanted to like be with her.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's such a sweet thing to say. I
Yeah.
think
He's like,
maybe she took it as like he was cheating because he already knew that she was good looking so he was like whatever I don't know.
right. But maybe he could have also been like, I don't find that kind of person attractive at all. So I don't want to talk to her. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
I just think, and I get it. Listen, if I got engaged to someone that I did not see, I would probably have the worst panic attack ever because I'm very like, I need to see you and smell you. And I
Hmm.
said that to Jagger too. He's like, you need to smell them. And I was like, yeah, pheromones and like all their, I don't know, I don't really love cologne. And like, what if they wear deodorant that gives me a headache? I don't know. Like, I don't like it. But I need to see you and smell you. So I could not go on the show number one. But if I did, I would definitely, I get it. I would have been like in a spiral about, I wouldn't have even
Yeah.
needed to think he saw me on Instagram. I would have just been in a spiral. But it was just interesting. I was like, well, is it that important?
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked them. They were fine. I just thought the next episode was boring. Like when they're in Honduras, like it was okay, but then when they're like staging, talking to each other at the end, I'm like, this would be horrible. Like I would be so uncomfortable. I don't really know you. Like to me, I don't know. I would just be a mess. I would probably be more like Taylor, or not Taylor. I'd be like Lauren and Dave, like, so this weather's nice.
Well, to your point, I think it would be weird to like you fell in love with someone through a wall, you don't see them, you're in love with them. You meet them one time for like a few minutes, and then you go and you're spending a week with them and you're like in love with them, but you've never been around them.
Hmm.
I think it would feel awkward and weird.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. But because you haven't had any physical connection this whole time and you have all these emotions.
Hmm.
Do you not? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how I would react in the
I
moment.
don't know how I would react. I mean, I do. I would be like weirded out, especially if I wasn't that attracted to them. I'd be like, okay, this
Oh, if
is,
I wasn't attracted, I would be like, I'm sorry, I can't do this.
yeah, can't do it. I'm out. I mean, I understand the purpose of it, and obviously they don't pick like the world's ugliest people at all. Like everybody's good looking, but
Yeah, but it's that thing, there are just certain things that we're attracted to. And it doesn't matter. Like, there are plenty of attractive people that I'm not attracted to.
yeah, for sure. Even when my husband's hair grows long, I'm like, ugh. But you need to go get that cut so mama can time.
Right. I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah. Um, do you have anything else for Love is Blind?
Let me check my note.
Check your notes.
Um,
I don't know that I did. I wanted to talk about Meg and Madison and then
well, we didn't say anything about Devin and
Virginia.
Virginia. I always forget her name. I don't know why.
They're obviously not that exciting.
Yeah, I don't. It's interesting
And we
because
barely talked about Ben and Sarah. I only brought them up for like half a second.
they get on my nerves.
They get on my nerves. I think Ben is charismatic and like funny. And I think that's his way of getting out his like uncomfortableness, maybe.
Hmm.
Devin and Virginia, they're just like kind of quiet and calm. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're cute in certain ways together, and I could see them staying together. Um,
I could too.
I just, yeah, I just for whatever reason don't have a lot to say about them.
Yeah.
Um, Ben and Sarah, I just kind of find them like, I'm just gonna say it. I just find them a little bit maybe like loud and obnoxious and like, and
Mm,
I can be loud, so I don't mean it just because they're loud. It's there's something about the way they interact that to me is like they're still in college.
Like younger.
And I can't put my finger on it yet. I haven't put my
Yeah,
finger on it yet, but there's just something about them that I'm like, I just don't love it.
not sure about. Um, okay, so let's bachelor it up.
The Bachelor.
Transition. I can talk transition to The Bachelor. I
Oh, let's do
am
it.
glad it's over. I'm glad it's done. I'm still kind of like unsure and confused a little bit. Like I think I followed Grant on Instagram just because I'm like, okay, I'm just not getting it yet. Like I'm not getting it.
Okay,
Like
so
I'm
for
just not
people,
I'm not
'cause
getting it.
I know there are people that watch or that listen to this that don't actually watch the shows, which I think I love that. I think that's hilarious and I love it. Just for people who are listening who don't watch, this was the finale of The Bachelor, and Grant chose Juliana, and they are engaged.
So wild to
And
me.
she was like my pick from the beginning.
I know. You're like, I knew it this whole time.
Yes, I did. No.
That's
Yeah,
the best Kentucky accent I can do. I love it. I wish I had one.
you
I
do a
really
good
do.
job.
I love
You do a
that
good job.
Southern accent.
And but yeah, I just saw something there from the beginning.
I don't know what you saw because I don't see it. Like I legit still am
I so do see it. I
like
see
when
it.
they were on the couch together after the final rose, like I still was like, I just am not
Really?
getting this like chemistry connection here. I'm just not.
Oh, I do.
I'm
I,
glad somebody does because
yeah.
I feel bad because I'm like, with Latia, I could see it. Like, I don't know if it was just the way it was aired. Like, there were a couple of times where I really was like getting the vibes between Grant and Juliana. But like, I don't know. I'm just really, I'm so shocked.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like, I'm
So
shocked.
in my opinion, um, I think that Latia, what we saw from her, I'll just speak for what I saw from her. Um, she really like knows how to be feminine and get into her feminine, and she I think wants to be able to do that with someone.
Hmm.
Um, however, and I think that's part of like what you saw that made you think this is great because she was like, I want to be a wife and a great wife and give. And but I
Hmm.
think like what she wanted to give him wasn't necessarily what he wanted to receive.
Yes, he was not ready for
And
a family.
well, right. And so therefore, then that isn't then she's not seeing him.
Yeah. I have a hard time with that whole scenario, I guess, because like, and I'm sure there's other reasons why it just wasn't Latia besides like the family thing.
Oh yeah.
But the show made it seem like, he was really just unsure, like I said, till the last minute about who he was picking, which just could be very accurate. And in my mind, like I think sometimes people get caught up in, and I did when I was dating, um, like I don't want to say minor details, but like stuff changes. Like he could be with Juliana, they could get married, and he could have a baby in like 2 years,
Right.
because he could just want like
Right.
that's where their relationship could develop to. I think
Yeah.
that
But I
fixating on like, well, she wants to have kids in 2 years. Okay, let's say you and Latia get together, and I think just in my opinion, I think maybe, you guys might not have kids in 2 years. Maybe you guys have a great time traveling and she's
Mhm.
like, changes her mind. Like things change, people change their minds. So
Right. But I don't
don't stress on that point. Don't stress on like the
yeah.
timeline thing.
So I don't think I know they did make it out to be like that. It was about that, but I guess I have two different trains of thought about it. So the first one is I can understand being like, okay, there's all these great things. Like, can I give that to her? Because I think that's a very masculine containment thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to have exactly what she wants. Am I the person that can give that to her? And if he knows that he's a no on that, even if, yes, things do change, but like all we can do is make decisions that feel right in our body. And if in my body, I'm like, I'm not going to give a no, or I'm not going to give a child to this person in 2 years, like I'm a no for that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Then, because if he was open to it, I think he would feel like maybe, right? And that
Yeah.
probably was like part of maybe the way they aired it anyway, that was part of his struggle. And so I think that it was fair of him to like take as long as he needed to figure that out for himself, even if it was up to the end. And I also think it would be difficult. I'm sure he felt so much of the love from her, you know? And I would be curious, like, what his design is in human design, because, like, where his open centers and all that. But I think I'm sure he could feel all of that. And because he wants to get married, he does want to feel that kind of love from somebody. So it would,
Mm-hmm.
I can understand how that could be confusing and how he could be like trying to navigate that. And it would be difficult to figure it out. And he would need all the time he could get. I just think what I saw from her when he said no to her
Mm-hmm.
was a big indicator of, yeah, he made the right decision, because it's really easy for her to sit on the couch and say to him when he says, in 2 years, if I don't want to have a baby, like, how will you handle that? And it's real easy for her to sit on the couch and be like, rubbing his head and be like, well, it would just depend why. And I think if we had good reasons, we could navigate that and figure that out. And I could give to you. And like, I think it's easy to do that. But then when the rubber meets the road and someone tells you something you don't want to hear, how do you react? And
Yeah.
that's what happened, in my opinion. Like, he told her something she didn't want to hear by saying, I really do love you. This isn't it for me. Like, you're not the person for me. The way she reacted, I, I was, I mean, the look on my face says it all. Like, I don't even know how I can understand being upset. I do not, I just don't like how she reacted to him.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. I mean, I kind of was like, I could have gone either way. Like, I think that it did not maybe necessarily line up with like who she showed us like all season, because she wasn't really in the drama, and like she always has like the big eyes and like this sweet little voice and whatever, and then she like was real sassy, I think. But I also was
Sassy
like,
is an understatement.
all right, girl, do your thing.
Well,
I mean, I could understand after she was like talking on the couch, like, I mean, what was he thinking was going to happen, I guess, when he said no? Because like if you're telling somebody all of this, if you're giving them all of these reassurances the entire time, I mean, I'm assuming that's how it went, that it was going to be her.
well,
Like I could see why she would be like, wait, what? Like what the heck is happening? Because this is not, like, you clearly have been lying to me this whole time. Like obviously that's not what you meant. I feel like you can tell two people you love them on the show. Like that to me makes total sense.
yeah.
But if you're going to reaffirm somebody the entire time and tell them it's them, it's them, it's them, it's them, and then you don't pick them, I can see how you would have a poor reaction to that information.
Right, but I don't know that he blatantly was like, I know for sure it's you. And I
I
also,
mean, she said that though. I mean, and he didn't argue with her. I mean,
well, when
I'm
he,
thankful he didn't argue with her.
well, Jesse, he let her finish.
Yeah,
But then when he said, can I, and he wanted to respond, Jesse said no. Because
they
I'm assuming they had
yeah.
time, it's a time constraint thing. I'm
I
assuming.
don't know if it's a time constraint thing or like maybe they're hoping she'll be the next bachelorette. I know we're not having a bachelorette this
Yeah.
year, but maybe
And
they're hoping
so,
she'll be the bachelorette, so they're going to like
yeah,
love on her and take
maybe.
care of her. But
But I
he
mean,
did
it was
have
a live
time.
show.
He did have time after the commercial break and he did talk some. I forget
I
what he
guess,
said, but
yeah, I don't remember. But I guess for me, I feel like um I didn't okay. For me, it's like in some ways it's on her to self-contain. She has to have her own internal masculine take care of herself through this process. And she knew that there was someone else all the way to the end involved. And it's like Juliana said when she went to shut the door that night, the last time she saw him when he left, um, like the night before or 2 nights before the rose ceremony. And she said to production, I've totally opened my heart to him and I want it to be me, but I know, like, what if he's saying the same things to her that he is me? That's a possibility. Like, she was self aware enough to know, even though he's telling me he loves me and all of this, I know there's someone else that he also has feelings for, clearly, because we're both sitting here and maybe he said the same things. Whereas Latia just acted like, oh, it's just me. And like, I guess he's not saying any of that to somebody else. And I just think that's not, I just think that's on her.
I think that I get it. I think I totally get it. Cause I mean, being heartbroken and upset and mad at somebody, like, I think there is like a right way and wrong way, I guess, to navigate it. I mean, you're not gonna like cuss somebody out, I guess. I
Mhm.
don't know. But I feel like in her situation, I don't know how I would have reacted. And I feel like as upset as she was, I mean, I think she did want to hurt him in a way because she was hurting,
Yes.
but I don't know. I almost think like, yeah, buddy, you're like you signed up for getting hurt yourself. Like you signed up for somebody being angry at you. Like
Right. But to say it's fine to be angry, it's fine. I just think the way she said it, the things she said,
I will be out in just a minute.
I just think the things that she said and like the way she said them, I think it's fine to say, I'm angry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm upset. Like this really hurts. Like to cry, to be whatever. But she switched real quick. Like she went straight into like a different mode. I
Yeah,
like watching it. It was like she went from sub to dom, like boom, fast.
I think I don't know. I think I feel bad. I don't know. I feel like I want to watch it again just to see that whole like part again, just to hear what she had said. And I should have done it before we got on here. But I think I can get it. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. I would be curious. I would really love to hear a podcast from her. I would love to hear some podcasts from Grant and Juliana and like hear what they're talking about and like what they're saying. Okay. Like, go. I'll be out in a minute. Go. Go go go. I feel like I would like to hear more. That's where I'm at. I would just be curious to hear more. I'd be curious to hear Juliana's side and like how does she feel? I mean, he ultimately picked her, but how does she feel like when she heard that, he's saying all this stuff to somebody else?
Well, she said on the show that she could offer him grace because she knows it had to be a hard situation.
Yeah.
And That's, I think, my thing is it's okay to have your heart broken and to be upset and but like we have to take self accountability for we are putting ourselves in a position to have our heart broken anytime we open it. And I just think that if I truly love someone, I'm not going to lash out and try to hurt them just because my heart's broken. And I've been in that situation where I've totally opened up and had my heart broken like that. And I've been able to stay in the vulnerable position of how painful it is without being an asshole to the person. And I just thought she acted like an asshole. And I'm like, thank God. If I was Grant, I would be like, thank God I didn't get engaged.
I'm sure that whole situation probably put a little yeah,
And I want to
affirmation in
know,
his pocket. But I think
put a little what in his pocket?
affirmation. I
Oh,
think that just the whole situation was rough. And I think he tried to like talk
mhm.
it through with her, but obviously people are like, I'm out, I'm done, like I'm not talking to you anymore, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's
So,
like you take the 20 minutes just to have it out right then and there, like I don't know.
yeah.
This she was definitely prepared with what she wanted to say on the couch. I was laughing though because I'm like watching her walk in her super tight dress and she could
Oh,
barely
no.
move, and I'm like, girl, you got a long walk back out to that SUV with this man.
I know. She
Like
was
this
like
is hilarious.
barely scooting her little feet because her dress was so tight.
There would be no way I could even wear something like that,
I would
knowing I
be
have to walk a
shit.
thousand feet. Like I
Shit.
couldn't do it because all these people are watching you. They're all waiting for you to walk. I
I
just
would have
that
to pull it up above my knees and just go.
yeah.
I'm like, forget this.
That's what I was thinking when she was walking out. I'm like, okay, how is she gonna handle this?
So, but can you imagine? I have two questions for you. One, I'll just start with this one because I was literally thinking this. Can you imagine being Grant and being like, okay, well, I just got totally bitched out. Now I'm going to get engaged.
Maybe they give them time in between to like take some water, go for a little walk. I would hope so. That whole deal is just so crazy to me. Like, what an emotional roller coaster.
I know. I was thinking
And it did not change my opinion on Grant. I still think he's a great guy.
that was going to be my second question is do you still love Grant?
I do. I think, yeah, it did not change my opinion at all. Like,
Right.
I know people are like, oh, he's dropping songs and, maybe he wants a record deal and he went on this to maybe get famous or whatever. Like, I never got that vibe from him. Like, it just annoys me. Everybody pulls that card anymore. I was actually listening to another podcast about Love is Blind, and they're like, they're all on here to get famous and get followers. And we weren't like that when we were on. And I was like, click. I am not listening to you biddies do this. I
No,
don't
because
think that that's the reality for everybody.
no, because maybe he wanted to be the Bachelor and go on that show and find love, and he would love to like be creative and do something with music.
Yeah.
And it's not even like those. It wasn't like in his mind. I'm going to do this so I can be
Yeah.
successful with music. It's just both things happen to be true that he wanted both things.
I think he went on it for love. I mean, I think if
Yeah.
you don't think about, what it can do for your life, then you're an idiot because how many of these girls get off of there and they get all of these deals and all of this crap all the time? Like it amazes me just all the deals these girls will get after being
They
on the
do?
show. Yeah. Yeah, you don't follow any of them on Instagram?
No.
Yeah, that's the only reason I like know
What did
that.
they get deals for?
Like Kelsey Anderson, she's with Joey. She's all the time like going on trips and going on here and promoting this and promoting that. Like she does Patron right now. It's a big thing she's promoting.
Oh, I see.
Like they get brand deals. People send them like free stuff all the time. So then they'll show their free stuff on their Instagram, and it doesn't make me want to go buy the products. Like I could care less that you're giving stuff away for free. Honestly, it makes me salty. I
I,
want free stuff.
I know. I know. Have you ever? I always think about that. They give like all these people who are like multi-millionaires free things
Yeah.
because people want to be like them, I guess, and then they'll go spend money. But it's like, but they could buy the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It
It's
drives me.
just fascinating to me the way it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I have anything else in my notes. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so. I'm glad it's over, I guess, 'cause but I still am like shocked. I was with Latia. I thought it was gonna be her. And then which I was wrong with Joey. I thought it was gonna be Daisy and it ended up being Kelsey. So maybe this is the new wave of the Bachelors. Like they really are setting it up for you to think it's one person and then you're shocked when it's another person.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of this. So tonight is Farmer Wants a Wife is on.
I love that show.
Oh my gosh, and we need to do that one too. I mean, we have way too many going on, but we could talk about Love is Blind and Farmer Wants a Wife.
Okay, I love that show.
Oh my gosh. Are you talking about the one on Fox right now?
Yeah, I'm Eastern Kentucky girl. I watch the farmer shows.
It's just such a sweet, like, I just think it's always just super sweet. Like the whole show is just so different. Although I did see in like the teaser that there's a lot more kissing this season. Like the last seasons, there's been like no kissing. Like they never kiss. I'm like, this is
I
so
know.
to me.
I know. So I did have something else written down about The Bachelor that I'll ask you. Did you see at the end, like when they were talking about the Italy trip that they gave to Juliana and Grant, and they panned to like his family and his sister?
No, I didn't notice that at all.
Oh my God, she had like the most horrible look on her face. I won't say the look that I said and I rewound it and made Jagger look at her face.
It's so funny.
But like, she had like just the bitchiest look on her face. And I was like, did they just catch her at the wrong moment? Or is she like pissed about something? Or
Yeah. I don't know. That's
like,
so interesting.
it made me curious because, sometimes you just have a weird look on your face and that's like, it's about something totally different and they pan to you.
Or you're looking at somebody else and they're doing something stupid and you're like, what?
Yeah. But she looked like so bitchy. And yeah, so if you didn't see it, never mind. But also one thing that I didn't write down specifically like what Latia said to him, but I did make a note that like I felt like she was talking to him like he was a child. And I just, yeah, that for me was unattractive. But then it also made me think if you want all these kids, like, is that how you're going to talk to your kids too? Because it was like she was above him and she was better and smarter and like he was like bad, naughty little boy.
Yeah, she had a chip on her shoulder. And I'm kind of surprised, I guess, with the person we saw all season that she was still holding on to all of that. I guess.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I love when women get in touch with their anger and stuff. So it's not that I'm like, oh my God, like judging her for being angry.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know that the way she handled her anger and it being projected out on him like that was an appropriate response given the scenario or an appropriate situation. I completely understand her being pissed.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that she can say that she's angry and she's in touch with that. And maybe like, who am I to say it was wrong? But the way she did it, I just felt like it didn't line up with like the person she painted herself to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens next.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to say?
I feel like I had a blip of something, but then it was gone. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Was it about the sister?
No.
About his parents. I loved that his dad showed up for him.
Yeah.
I really loved that his dad came in that morning and was like,
they're definitely healing old wounds, I think.
Yes. So healing.
I know that purple and I know that purple clock. Them hats.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, this has been real fun. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And
This has been wild. I'm so sorry.
it's okay. Jag can cut most of that out.
Oh, they're driving me crazy. They really are. Well, I was not expecting one to be awake, which is usually what happens. It's fine. It's all good.
But yeah, anyway, I love that we also touched on the healing the old wounds between him and his dad, because I've been doing some wound healing with my parents as well.
For you.
It could bring me to tears. It just feels so good. So I really love that. Like seeing that between Grant and his dad.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No, I don't think so. So, Farmer Wants a Wife. We'll talk about it next week. We'll just talk about episode 2. I mean, episode 1 was last week, but
okay. I'll have to go back and watch them. I haven't watched them, but
cool. Yeah. Yeah. Tonight is episode 2. So watch it. Love is Blind. What do we have? 8 and 9?
8 and 9.
Close to the end.
Yeah, I started 8 because I couldn't help myself.
Well, listen, we can just see how far we get. Honestly, like if you want to do 8, 9, and 10, let me know. I am up for it.
Okay.
Where we go.
Maybe, because I have nothing planned this weekend, so I might just watch.
Okay. Yeah, let me know. Let me know.
Okay.
All right.
Bye. Bye, everybody.